Hey there, Hulk fans! Today we're diving into the 1977 TV series, The Incredible Hulk, which brought Marvel's superhero to life with Bill Bixby as Dr. David Banner and Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk. The show left a significant mark on television history, and we've unearthed 20 fascinating facts about this iconic series that even die-hard fans might not know. Let's smash through these details together. The Incredible Hulk follows the tragic story of Dr. David Banner, a brilliant scientist haunted by the accidental death of his wife. Driven by guilt and desperation to uncover the hidden strength that allows ordinary people to perform extraordinary feats during moments of stress, Banner conducts a dangerous gamma radiation experiment on himself. The experiment goes horribly wrong, transforming him into the Hulk, a massive green creature fueled by uncontrollable rage. Forced to live a life on the run, Banner searches for a cure while evading relentless reporter Jack McGee, who is determined to uncover the truth about the mysterious creature. Along the way, Banner helps people in need, often forced to unleash the Hulk to save the day. The show blends elements of action, drama, and tragedy, portraying Banner's constant struggle to control his dual nature and find peace. Now let's delve into the 20 intriguing facts about this iconic series. One of the most surprising details about the Incredible Hulk TV series is the name change for its main character. In the comics, we all know him as Bruce Banner, but the TV adaptation introduced him as David Banner. This decision wasn't random. It stemmed from producer Kenneth Johnson's creative vision. Johnson had a strong aversion to the alliterative names that were so prevalent in comics, such as Peter Parker, Reed Richards, or Susan Storm. He found them overly contrived and wanted to ground the series in a more realistic tone. The decision to rename Bruce to David wasn't random. Producer Kenneth Johnson reportedly named the character after his son, adding a personal layer to the change. This reimagined version of Banner as a man haunted by loss and tragedy became a blueprint for future adaptations, solidifying the character's emotional complexity across all mediums. However, the name change wasn't just about creative preferences. Another rumor claims that CBS, the network airing the show, felt that Bruce sounded too effeminate for a TV audience at the time, a viewpoint that reflects outdated stereotypes of the era. While the reasoning behind this perception remains unclear, it's an intriguing glimpse into the social attitudes that influenced television production in the 1970s. Despite the change, Bruce wasn't entirely erased from the character's identity. It was cleverly retained as David Banner's middle name, a subtle nod to the original comic book lore that likely appeased Marvel fans. This compromise allowed the show to forge its own identity while still honoring the source material. Another fascinating twist is the show's decision to make Banner a widower, a deviation from the comics that gave the character a more tragic and relatable backstory. In the series, Banner's wife's accidental death becomes the emotional catalyst for his experiments with gamma radiation, which ultimately lead to his transformation into the Hulk. This shift added dramatic weight to the character's journey, emphasizing themes of grief and guilt alongside the sci-fi elements. What makes this choice even more interesting is how it reflects the broader creative direction of the series. Johnson envisioned The Incredible Hulk as more than just a superhero show. He wanted it to explore human emotion and moral complexity. By reimagining Bruce, or rather David, Banner as a man haunted by personal loss, the show struck a chord with audiences who connected with his internal struggles. The name change may seem like a small detail at first glance, but it speaks volumes about the creative decisions that shaped the series. It's a testament to how the Incredible Hulk wasn't afraid to take risks, reimagining a beloved comic book character in ways that resonated with a new medium and a new audience. So, the next time you watch the show or see the Hulk on the big screen, take a moment to appreciate how this seemingly minor tweak helped transform a comic book hero into a television icon. You imagine the Hulk not as the green-skinned powerhouse we know today, but instead as a crimson giant. This was nearly the case, as Kenneth Johnson, the show's producer, originally suggested that the Hulk be red instead of green. Johnson argued that red, as a color, was a more fitting representation of rage and anger, the very emotions that fuel the Hulk's transformations. From a psychological perspective, Johnson's reasoning makes sense. Red is commonly associated with intense feelings like fury, danger, and passion. In fact, it's a color that often triggers strong emotional responses, making it a logical choice for a character whose power is directly tied to uncontrollable anger. A red Hulk might have made the character feel even more threatening and volatile on screen, particularly in the gritty, dramatic tone of the 1970s TV series. However, Stan Lee, the co-creator of the Hulk, adamantly opposed the idea. For Lee, the Hulk's green hue wasn't just a stylistic choice. It was a fundamental aspect of the character's identity. The green skin set the Hulk apart visually, making him instantly recognizable in a sea of superheroes. Lee's refusal wasn't just about tradition. It was about maintaining the iconic nature of the character, ensuring that the Hulk remained unique and unforgettable. What's fascinating is that the decision to make the Hulk green in the comics was originally a practical one. When the character was first created in 1962, Lee and artist Jack Kirby intended for the Hulk to be gray. However, due to printing inconsistencies, the gray coloring appeared uneven in early issues, prompting the switch to green. This accidental change ended up becoming one of the most defining features of the Hulk's design. If the TV series had gone with Johnson's Red Hulk, it's worth considering how this might have altered the character's legacy. Would a Red Hulk have been as visually striking or memorable? Would the color change have confused fans of the comics, potentially alienating the show's audience? The decision to stick with green ensured continuity between the TV adaptation and the comics, reinforcing the Hulk's brand and appeal. What's more, green carries its own symbolic weight. It can represent nature, growth, and even envy, all emotions that tie into the Hulk's complex personality. The color also underscores the Hulk's duality. While red might purely symbolize rage, green allows for a broader interpretation of the character, hinting at his humanity and his potential for both destruction and heroism. So next time you think about the Hulk, remember, his green skin isn't just a stylistic quirk. It's a symbol of who he is and a testament to the creative battles that helped define one of Marvel's most beloved heroes. Would a Red Hulk have been interesting? Perhaps, but nothing can truly replace the Green Giant who has smashed his way into the hearts of fans worldwide. Lou Ferrigno wasn't the first choice to play the Hulk. Initially, the producers considered Arnold Schwarzenegger but found him too short at 6 feet 2 inches. They cast Richard Kiel, a 7'2" actor, but he was let go after a week of filming for lacking the necessary bulk. Lou Ferrigno, a 6'5" bodybuilder, ultimately got the role, though a scene featuring Kiel remains in the pilot. Unlike most shows, which launch into a full season after a successful pilot episode, The Incredible Hulk took an entirely different route. This creative choice not only set the series apart, but also highlighted the careful strategy behind its eventual success. It all began with the first pilot, which aired in 1977. This wasn't your typical superhero origin story. It leaned heavily into drama and grounded realism. Audiences were introduced to Dr. David Banner's tragic backstory and his transformation into the Hulk. This darker, more emotional tone resonated with viewers and proved that The Incredible Hulk could be more than just a comic book adaptation. It was a deeply human story. The pilot's success was undeniable, drawing strong ratings and critical praise. However, instead of immediately greenlighting a full season, CBS decided to take a cautious but calculated step. In 1977, CBS aired a second special titled The Return of the Incredible Hulk. This wasn't just a continuation of the first pilot. It was a deliberate effort to test the waters further and solidify the show's appeal. Later renamed Death in the Family in syndication, this second special doubled down on the elements that had worked in the first pilot: a compelling narrative, intense character drama, and the perfect balance of action and emotion. Fans were captivated by Bill Bixby's poignant portrayal of David Banner and Lou Ferrigno's commanding presence as the Hulk. The second special's success made it clear. Audiences were hooked. With 2 hits under its belt, CBS finally launched The Incredible Hulk as a full series in 1978. And the rest, as they say, is history. The show went on to run for 5 incredible seasons, ending in 1982, and became a cultural phenomenon along the way. This unique approach to the pilot's structure wasn't just a production choice. It reflected the network's confidence in the show's potential and its willingness to take risks. At the time, superhero adaptations were still a gamble, with many failing to find lasting success. CBS's decision to release 2 pilots allowed the series to refine its formula and build momentum before committing to a full season. What's even more fascinating is how the fans and media reacted. Early viewers praised the show for its emotional depth and fresh take on the superhero genre. Critics noted that the first 2 pilots elevated the material, making it accessible to audiences who weren't familiar with the comics. This broader appeal was a game changer and helped pave the way for the show's long-term success. The 2-pilot strategy also influenced the industry. It showcased how giving a show time to evolve before launching a full series could pay off. In many ways, The Incredible Hulk set a precedent for how networks could handle risky or unconventional concepts, proving that patience and strategic planning could lead to something truly iconic. Looking back, it's easy to see why this approach worked so well. The first pilot built intrigue. The second built confidence, and together they created a foundation for one of television's most beloved adaptations. Fans didn't just watch the show, they connected with it on a deeper level. They rooted for David Banner, felt his pain, and cheered for the Hulk as he smashed through obstacles. Today, the legacy of the Incredible Hulk lives on, and the show's unique pilot structure is a testament to the power of taking risks and thinking outside the box. Without this careful and deliberate build-up, the series might never have achieved the cultural impact it did. So the next time you watch the Hulk unleash his rage, remember that it all started with not 1, but 2 groundbreaking pilots that dared to be different. While the Hulk appears barefoot on screen, Lou Ferrigno wore green-painted sandals during action scenes to protect his feet. These practical measures allowed him to perform physically demanding stunts safely. To preserve the illusion that David Banner and the Hulk were the same person, Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno avoided being seen together in public, especially around children. They also minimized their time on set together, with Bixby absent during Hulk scenes and Ferrigno during Banner's scenes. Before the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the series experimented with crossovers. In 1988, The Incredible Hulk Returns featured Thor, marking the God of Thunder's first live-action appearance. This was followed by the Trial of the Incredible Hulk in 1989, which included Daredevil, While these crossovers didn't lead to spin-offs, they were early attempts at building a connected universe. Imagine an alternate timeline where the Incredible Hulk not only paved the way for its own legacy, but also launched a full-blown Marvel TV universe decades before the MCU. After the success of the trial of the Incredible Hulk, serious talks emerged about creating standalone spin-offs for Thor and Daredevil. These shows could have explored entirely new storylines, diving deeper into Thor's mythical adventures or Daredevil's gritty, street-level battles with crime. Fans were tantalized by the possibilities of seeing these beloved characters in their own series, especially with the unique storytelling style that defined the Incredible Hulk. However, like many ambitious ideas, these plans were shelved due to budget limitations and logistical hurdles, leaving fans to wonder what could have been. What if Marvel's interconnected universe had started on television, long before the cinematic juggernaut we know today? In one iconic scene, the Hulk flips a car in rage. Initially, the stunt was to be done using cables, but due to delays, Ferrigno flipped the car himself, showcasing his incredible strength. Filming under the California sun while covered in green body paint and wearing a heavy wig was challenging for Ferrigno. To keep him cool and prevent the makeup from melting, the production team provided a refrigerated trailer. The TV Hulk had longer hair than his comic counterpart. This design choice was to conceal Ferrigno's hearing aid, as he has been largely deaf since childhood. A proposed crossover with Spider-Man was pitched, featuring Nicholas Hammond reprising his role from the Amazing Spider-Man TV show. However, due to scheduling conflicts, the idea was shelved. In the 1980 episode, Proof Positive, Bill Bixby couldn't film due to court hearings for his divorce. The producers used recycled footage of him to keep David Banner present in the storyline. Inspired by the success of The Bionic Woman, the producers considered introducing a female Hulk, Banner's sister, Helen. However, Marvel Comics quickly created She-Hulk in 1980 to prevent the show from using a similar character. After 5 seasons of compelling drama, the show came to an abrupt end in 1982, leaving viewers with lingering questions and an unfulfilled resolution. David Banner's journey, a quest to cure himself of the Hulk and reclaim his humanity, remained incomplete. This unresolved ending has become a poignant footnote in television history, sparking debates among fans and critics alike. The cancellation of the series wasn't due to declining popularity. In fact, The Incredible Hulk maintained a loyal fan base throughout its run. The show resonated deeply with audiences because of its emotional depth and relatable themes of loneliness, guilt, and perseverance. Bill Bixby's portrayal of Banner as a man constantly on the edge of despair but unwilling to give up hope was universally praised. Lou Ferrigno's physical embodiment of the Hulk brought the character's raw power and vulnerability to life. Fans were emotionally invested in Banner's journey and eagerly anticipated a satisfying conclusion to his story. However, CBS had other priorities. By the early 1980s, the network faced rising production costs for The Incredible Hulk. The series' elaborate stunts, special effects, and makeup required significant resources, and CBS decided that the expenses outweighed the benefits of continuing the show. Despite the producers' efforts to campaign for a final episode to properly conclude the storyline, the network ultimately pulled the plug. This decision left fans heartbroken. For 5 seasons, they had followed Banner's struggles, hoping that he would one day find a cure for his condition. The abrupt cancellation felt like an injustice, not only to the character but also to the loyal audience who had invested so much in the series. Fan letters poured in, expressing disappointment and pleading for closure. Many viewers felt that Banner deserved a resolution, a moment of triumph where he could finally be free from the Hulk's curse. The media also took note of the show's unfinished ending. Critics lamented the lack of closure, with some describing the cancellation as a missed opportunity to deliver a groundbreaking finale. At the time, serialized storytelling on television was still a relatively new concept, and the idea of leaving a major arc unresolved was seen as unusual and unsatisfying. The show's abrupt conclusion highlighted the challenges of balancing creative ambition with the realities of network television. What's particularly frustrating is that the producers had ideas for a proper ending. They envisioned a final episode where Banner would either cure himself of the Hulk or come to terms with his dual nature, finding peace in the process. This would have provided a sense of closure and brought his journey full circle. Unfortunately, these plans never came to fruition. In the years following the show's cancellation, fans held out hope for some form of resolution. That hope was partially realized in the form of 3 TV movies: The Incredible Hulk Returns, 1988, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, 1989, and The Death of the Incredible Hulk, 1990. While these films continued Banner's story, they didn't quite provide the definitive ending many fans had hoped for. Even The Death of the Incredible Hulk, as its title suggests, failed to fully capture the emotional weight of a true conclusion. Decades later, the unfinished ending remains a topic of discussion among fans and media outlets. Some argue that the lack of resolution adds to the tragic nature of Banner's story, emphasizing the idea that his struggle is eternal. Others believe that a proper conclusion would have elevated the series to even greater heights, solidifying its place as one of television's greatest dramas. Despite its abrupt ending, The Incredible Hulk has left an indelible mark on pop culture. It paved the way for future superhero adaptations and demonstrated that these stories could be about more than just action. They could explore deep emotional and philosophical themes. To this day, fans continue to revisit the series, inspired by Banner's resilience and moved by his unfinished journey. During the show's later years, Bill Bixby faced personal tragedies, including the loss of his 6-year-old son and his ex-wife's death. These events deeply affected him and impacted his involvement in the series. Stan Lee's first Marvel cameo was in The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, where he played a juror. Hulk co-creator Jack Kirby also appeared in Season 2 as a police sketch artist. While Ferrigno played the Hulk, the character's grunts and growls were initially voiced by Ted Cassidy, who also narrated the show's opening. After Cassidy's death, Charles Napier took over the role. Ferrigno later voiced the Hulk in animated series and big-screen adaptations, including The Incredible Hulk, 2008, and the Avengers films. Bixby directed the final 2 TV movies, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, 1989, and The Death of the Incredible Hulk, 1990. Plans for further TV movies were canceled after his death in 1993. And there you have it. 20 fascinating behind-the-scenes secrets about the Incredible Hulk that you might not have known before. From the unique decisions that shaped the show's legacy to the creative risks and unforgettable performances that brought this iconic character to life, this series left an indelible mark on television history. It wasn't just a superhero show, it was a deeply emotional and relatable story that resonated with millions of fans worldwide. Whether it was the heartbreaking journey of Dr. David Banner, the groundbreaking stunts, or the bold creative choices, The Incredible Hulk proved that superhero stories could be about so much more than just action and spectacle. So, what do you think? Did any of these facts surprise you? Do you have a favorite memory or moment from the show? Drop a comment below and let us know. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another dive into your favorite movies and TV series. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay incredible.